Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Sam Fury Show. This episode is a summary of the book Antifragile by Nassim Nicholas Taleb. Nassim Nicholas Taleb's Antifragile explores the concept of antifragility, a property of systems that thrive and grow when exposed to volatility, stress and disorder. The book challenges conventional understanding, suggesting that what does not kill us often makes us stronger, not just resilient. Taleb's insights extend into various domains, from economics to personal development, advocating for embracing chaos and uncertainty as avenues for substantial growth and improvement. Part 1. The Antifragile. Chapter 1. Between Damocles and Hydra. This chapter introduces antifragility, where systems benefit from chaos and stress, unlike mere robustness. It challenges common views on fragility, emphasizing its importance in materials, economics, and personal growth. Understanding anti-fragility can enhance strategies for resilience and success, urging a re-evaluation of our interaction with stresses. Chapter 2. Overcompensation and overreaction everywhere. The chapter discusses anti-fragility, highlighting how stress and challenges can drive growth and innovation. It contrasts this with the misconception that innovation comes from comfort, emphasizing that embracing difficulties can lead to significant advancements. By understanding and leveraging anti-fragility, setbacks become catalysts for development, encouraging a perspective that views stresses as opportunities for growth, aligning with historical and natural resilience models. Chapter 3. The Cat and the Washing Machine. The chapter explains that life, unlike inanimate objects, is anti-fragile, thriving under certain stresses. It highlights that biological entities and complex systems like economies improve with manageable stress but can be harmed by excessive stress. The key takeaway is to view challenges as opportunities for growth, fostering resilience and adaptability. This perspective promotes incorporating stress management and resilience building in personal health, societal systems, and technological innovations. Chapter 4. What Kills Me Makes Others Stronger. The chapter explains that anti-fragility, the ability to benefit from stress, results from the failure of individual components, strengthening the overall system. It highlights how failures contribute to the resilience of systems like economies and ecosystems. Key takeaways include recognizing that failure is essential for growth and innovation, enhancing systemic strength and adaptability. Embracing risks and failures can lead to greater development and stability, offering a nuanced perspective on challenges and setbacks. Part 2. Modernity and the Denial of Anti-Fragility. Chapter 5. The Souk and the Office Building. The chapter contrasts two professions, a stable but fragile corporate job and a variable yet resilient taxi driving career. It argues that perceived job security can mask risks, while variability can enhance adaptability and robustness. Key takeaways include the idea that manageable risks improve resilience, and seemingly unstable jobs may offer more long-term security through continuous adaptation. This challenges the traditional preference for stability, advocating for a deeper understanding of true economic resilience. Chapter 6. Tell Them I Love Some Randomness. This chapter uses the steam engine governor metaphor to show how tight control can cause instability, while looser control enhances resilience and adaptability. It applies this concept to economic markets and daily life, suggesting unpredictability prevents larger catastrophes. The key takeaway is that overly stabilizing systems can accumulate hidden risks. Small disturbances are essential for long-term health and stability. Embracing unpredictability allows systems to adapt, evolve, and survive. Chapter 7. Naive Intervention. This chapter critiques naive interventionism, where unnecessary interventions like overprescribed tonsillectomies cause harm, termed iatrogenics. It extends this to political and economic sectors, showing how interventions can have adverse effects despite good intentions. The major takeaway is to avoid undue intervention without understanding the system. It advocates for a measured approach, considering long-term harms and respecting the natural resilience of systems. Sometimes, doing less or nothing can be the most effective action in complex systems. Chapter 8. Prediction as a Child of Modernity. This chapter critiques the reliability of economic forecasting, highlighting the harmful effects of inaccurate predictions in high-stakes environments. The author, drawing from a personal experience with Takatoshi Kato's economic projections, critiques the over-reliance on predictive models. Instead of predicting unpredictable events, the focus should be on building robust and anti-fragile systems. Key takeaways include skepticism towards economic and political forecasts, the need for robust systems, and benefiting from variability. This calls for a shift towards resilience and adaptability over the false security of prediction accuracy. Part 3. A non-predictive view of the world. Chapter 9. Fat Tony and the Fragilistas. This chapter humorously depicts the friendship between Nero, a reader and thinker, and Fat Tony, a man of action, highlighting their different approaches to life and unpredictability. Their shared skepticism of economic stability led them to profit from the 2008 crisis, emphasizing their anti-fragility philosophy, benefiting from chaos. Key takeaways include valuing skepticism toward economic predictions and applying anti-fragility as a survival strategy. The text favors practical wisdom and action over theory, suggesting it's safer to prepare for failure than predict success, encouraging embracing uncertainty in strategy and decision-making. Chapter 10. Seneca's Upside and Downside. This chapter parallels modern anti-fragility with ancient Stoic philosophy as practiced by Seneca, showing how to thrive amidst chaos by preparing for adversity and harnessing volatility for growth. Seneca, a wealthy Stoic philosopher, embodies anti-fragility by using his beliefs for practical success, emphasizing emotional resilience and strategic wealth management. Key takeaways include the importance of emotional robustness, preparing for worst-case scenarios, and using wealth as a tool. Seneca's life teaches the power of anticipating and mitigating downsides while benefiting from unpredictability, reinforcing the Stoic belief in controlling responses to circumstances rather than the circumstances themselves. Chapter 11. Never Marry the Rock Star. The chapter explains the barbell strategy for achieving anti-fragility by balancing extreme safety and extreme risk, benefiting from uncertainty while minimizing negative impacts. Illustrated with analogies, it emphasizes mitigating downside risks before pursuing gains. Key takeaways include prioritizing survival over success by reducing exposure to catastrophic failures. This involves structuring activities and investments to minimize devastating losses, allowing secure participation in opportunities with significant upside potential. Adopting this strategy ensures stability and benefits from positive outcomes without being disproportionately harmed by negative events. Part 4. Optionality, Technology, and the Intelligence of Anti-Fragility. Chapter 12. Thales' Sweet Grapes. This chapter explains how Thales of Miletus used strategic options to demonstrate anti-fragility, showing how advantageous positioning in uncertain situations can lead to significant gains with minimal risk. Thales' story reveals that true power lies in creating setups with high potential gains and low risks, rather than mere prediction. Key takeaways include the concept of optionality, exemplified by Thales, securing rights to olive presses without the obligation to use them, thus capitalizing on favorable outcomes while limiting downside risk. This illustrates how anti-fragility transforms uncertainty into strategic advantage, emphasizing that flexible options in volatile situations can lead to disproportionate gains. The strategy highlights the value of positions that benefit from positive fluctuations without equivalent exposure to negative ones. Chapter 13. Lecturing Birds on How to Fly. The chapter uses the late adoption of wheeled suitcases to illustrate human limitations in imagination and the gap between invention and implementation. It shows how simple innovations can significantly impact daily life, yet often go overlooked for centuries due to a lack of practical application. The primary takeaway is that major advancements in convenience and efficiency often come from practical uses of existing technology rather than new inventions. The story emphasizes recognizing and exploiting known potentials rather than always seeking new knowledge. It critiques the tendency to overlook simple solutions for complex ones, suggesting true innovation comes from applying existing concepts in new ways, requiring vision beyond current technology uses. Chapter 14. When two things are not the same thing. The chapter emphasizes the limitations of formal education in fostering true innovation and economic growth, challenging the belief that education directly leads to wealth creation. It argues that real-world innovations often arise from necessity and practical application, using Abu Dhabi's development as an example. Key takeaways include critiquing the idea that building universities and importing academic expertise automatically results in technological advancement and economic prosperity. The author suggests that practical challenges and stresses, not educational institutions, drive innovation and growth. The chapter discusses how wealth typically leads to increased education levels, not vice versa, and encourages valuing practical experience and necessity as true drivers of innovation. Chapter 15. History written by the losers. The chapter challenges the misconception that formal education and structured historical studies are the main foundations for technological innovation, emphasizing practical tinkering and evolutionary development. Key takeaways include that many technological advances stem from hands-on experimentation and practical knowledge application, often preceding scientific theory. It critiques the belief in a linear evolution of technology from scientific discovery to application, showing that real-world solutions often drive scientific understanding. The chapter underscores the value of practical experience and warns against overvaluing theoretical knowledge, which can overshadow empirical and experiential learning, challenging the traditional hierarchy favoring theoretical knowledge over practical skills. Chapter 16. A Lesson in Disorder. This chapter advocates for a paradigm shift in education, urging readers to question the efficacy of traditional learning models and embrace a more self-directed approach. It emphasizes the value of autodidacticism, encouraging individuals to pursue knowledge outside the confines of formal education and explore diverse interests deeply and broadly. By prioritizing real-world experiences and hands-on learning, individuals can cultivate resilience and adaptability, essential qualities in navigating life's uncertainties. Furthermore, the chapter challenges conventional measures of success tied to academic achievements, urging a re-evaluation of what constitutes true fulfillment and growth. Ultimately, it suggests embracing non-traditional paths to expertise, where personal passion, curiosity, and practical application take precedence over adherence to societal norms or institutional expectations. Chapter 17. Fat Tony Debates. Socrates. The chapter delves into Plato's Euthyphro, scrutinizing the Socratic method and contrasting it with practical wisdom embodied by Fat Tony. Through Socrates, it elucidates the significance of questioning definitions, exposing the limitations of understanding and the necessity of clear concepts. Conversely, Fat Tony exemplifies practical wisdom, prioritizing outcomes over abstract truths and emphasizing the importance of experience. Nietzsche's critique of Socrates' rationalism underscores the value of intuition and the constraints of logical reasoning in comprehending complex phenomena. Additionally, the chapter advocates for respecting tradition's collective wisdom, acknowledging thinkers like Seneca and John Gray. Finally, Fat Tony's perspective highlights the asymmetry of consequences over binary distinctions, emphasizing the importance of payoff analysis in decision-making. Part 5. The Non-Linear and the Non-Linear. Chapter 18. On the difference between a large stone and 1,000 pebbles. This chapter elaborates on the concept of fragility as vulnerability to the non-linear effects of volatility, demonstrating that objects or systems that are fragile suffer disproportionately more as stress or pressure increases. The key takeaway from the text is that fragility is marked by an increasing harm under intensifying shocks, an insight that can be applied universally, from the breakage potential of a porcelain cup to economic models. The author suggests that understanding this non-linear relationship can help us manage and mitigate risks more effectively in various domains, such as physical materials, financial investments, and everyday decision-making. This understanding underscores the importance of preparing for the unexpected and recognizes the limits of linear thinking in complex real-world scenarios. Chapter 19. The Philosopher's Stone and its Inverse. This chapter explores fragility in financial systems, using Fannie Mae as a case study to illustrate the risks of escalating losses in response to economic shifts. The key takeaway is to identify and avoid fragility in economic institutions, focusing on concave risk exposures where losses accelerate faster than gains. This understanding is crucial for predicting instability and protecting against downturns. Recognizing such patterns enables better investment strategies and regulatory policies, emphasizing proactive risk management in complex economic systems. Part 6. Via Negativa. Chapter 20. Time and Fragility. This chapter critiques society's obsession with novelty, or neomania, arguing it increases fragility. It emphasizes the importance of time-tested processes and ideas, valuing their proven durability and adaptability. The takeaway is to respect long-standing practices over constant pursuit of the new, promoting stability and sustainable innovation. Chapter 21. Medicine, Convexity, and Opacity. This chapter critiques modern medicine's interventionist practices, emphasizing practical wisdom and skeptical empiricism. It advocates for minimal intervention aligned with natural processes unless substantial benefits are evident. Key takeaways include respecting natural processes and historical practices in medicine, applying interventions sparingly with robust evidence. The principle of via negativa is highlighted, advising against unnecessary interventions. The chapter challenges the assumption that new practices are superior, promoting simplicity, skepticism of unproven interventions, and valuing nature and historical wisdom over theoretical knowledge. Chapter 22. To live long, but not too long. This chapter critiques modern medicine's reliance on intervention, arguing that increased life expectancy results more from societal advances than aggressive treatments, which can sometimes do more harm than good. Key takeaways include that while medicine is vital for severe cases, its use in less critical situations often leads to unnecessary and harmful interventions. The text advocates a minimalistic approach, emphasizing that life expectancy gains are mainly due to non-medical advancements like sanitation and safety. It supports the via negativa concept, suggesting that doing less, avoiding non-essential medical procedures, can lead to better health. The author calls for reassessing healthcare philosophy to prioritize genuine needs over medical excess. Part 7. The Ethics of Fragility and Antifragility. Chapter 23. Skin in the Game. Antifragility and Optionality at the Expense of Others. This chapter explores the ethical issues when benefits are accrued without corresponding risks, common in modern systems where accountability is detached from authority. It critiques societal and corporate structures that reward decision-makers who bear no direct consequences for their actions, undermining collective well-being. The primary takeaway is the need for skin in the game to ensure ethical behavior and responsible decision-making. Systems are more robust and fair when individuals face direct consequences for their actions. The text advocates for structural reforms to align personal risks and rewards, emphasizing that personal accountability is essential for ethical behavior and societal stability, ensuring decision makers also face potential fallout, fostering a responsible and equitable society. Chapter 24. Fitting Ethics to a Profession. This chapter explores how professional life can reshape personal ethics to align with self-serving goals, negatively impacting societal ethics and collective welfare. The primary takeaway is that professional obligations often lead individuals to rationalize ethically questionable actions as necessary. It emphasizes examining the ethical implications of professional choices and argues that true freedom and integrity come from consistently maintaining personal values despite professional pressures. The chapter urges reflection on whether careers allow us to stay true to our ethics or compromise them for professional gain. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Sam Fury Show. If you found this episode useful, let me know with a like, follow, and share. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to visit www.samfree.com and join my free newsletter. As a subscriber, you'll get access to all my book summaries in written format for free. You'll also receive no more than one email a week containing a roundup of my latest posts, as well as exclusive content which is only for my mailing list. It's completely free to join at www.samfree.com.